Hey guys, so today I want to share with you and show you a super easy basic setup to do art tutorials and speed drawings or anything else you want to film yourself doing. Super easy, super basic, and you probably have like 90% of the things in your house anyway. This is the basic setup that I use for my traditional drawings, digital drawings. I'm going to show you the setup that I use for both my traditional and my digital work for all of my speed drawings, the tutorials, even my clay work that I've done. So to give you an idea of my basic setup, here is a picture that I use for my traditional artwork. So what I have here is a table mate, which is a lap desk. So you have a little mini desk for you on your couch so you can sit comfortably. I don't use a camcorder or anything when I shoot my videos. I just use my phone. So that's my basic setup. So right now I want to go over some of the some adjustments you might want to make. I had my tripod set up so it was in front of me or to the side of me. For the best angle, you want it behind you. I had it that way because I was using the couch at the time. When I'm on the desk, I have it behind me. So don't be afraid to experiment. Maybe move furniture around so you can get the tripod behind you, because that's really the best angle so that the viewer sees pretty much what you're seeing. Also be aware of positioning of your hand. The hand can cause some bad shadows like an instructor drawing. You want to be careful of that. Also just experiment. So you have good lighting, decent shadows, the least amount of grain possible. Again, a good lamp mixed with window light makes for really flattering lighting. So again, don't be afraid to try to, if you can, move furniture around or move your setup around or whatever you need to do to get the best lighting. Okay, and when you find that sweet spot, take a picture of it, like I did. Like when you find that sweet spot, because sometimes it can be hard to recreate it, so just as soon as you find the perfect spot, the perfect lighting, just take a quick picture of it so you can recreate it quickly. Some other quick advice: if you're not using a regular camcorder with a big SD card, since it takes up a lot of room for your pictures, for your drawing videos, make sure that you are pausing it constantly when you're distracted, when you're not paying attention, if you're talking to somebody. Basically anytime that your hand is not moving on the paper, go ahead and pause it. So that's my basic setup I do for my traditional drawings. For my speed drawings and my tutorials and my digital work, I use HyperCam 2. It records everything that you're doing. Super easy, super simple to use. It's completely free. I know a lot of people use Cam Studio, but that was always buggy for me and always gave me problems, so I definitely prefer HyperCam 2. That's obviously a much easier setup when it comes to tutorials because you don't have to get your lighting or anything perfect. It just records everything that you're doing. You get to pick the dimensions of what's recording, so you don't have to record the full screen, which is cool. Okay, now, so for the digital side, again, it's pretty simple. If you're struggling with a certain part to save room on your computer and to save viewers time, I would pause HyperCam while just stop the recording, go ahead, figure out what you're trying to do, and once you perfect it, once you know what you're doing, go ahead, go back, redo it so you can do it seamlessly for the viewer. It's not that much fun for the viewer to try to see you try to figure something out. Editing. Okay, so for editing, again, super simple. I don't use anything fancy. I just use Windows Movie Maker, pretty much the cheapest thing that you can get. It works for the videos that I use, but I do recommend to constantly save because sometimes the system can crash. And something else to keep in mind when you are editing, especially if you're doing tutorials, of course, the Windows Movie Maker is what you're going to use to speed up your videos if you're doing a speed drawing or a tutorial. Typically, tutorials aren't at live speed. So don't be afraid to adjust your speed at certain points during the video, because especially if you're doing a tutorial, because there's some parts where you may want to slow down and focus in on, and then other parts where you can just speed right through. For example, like if you're doing a tutorial of how to, say, paint hair, you can show them how to do the first couple strands and then speed it up to get the rest of it going. I did this with a scales video that I have, how to draw scales. I showed them how, slowed it up to show them how to do a few simple scales, and then I sped up the rest of the video because no one wants to see me do scales for 10 hours, but at the same point, I still need to slow it down at one point so that people can see what I'm doing. So that's pretty much it. A super simple setup for both things, both cheap and easy, and again, you probably have all of that stuff in your house already.
Okay, so I hope this was helpful and this will help you make your own speed drawings and tutorials. Bye-bye.